I hope you all are doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about investing with Dividend Aristocrats. Let's get right to the video. If you guys are new here to the channel, don't really know what it's about, I talk about all things investing with my tips, tricks, and insight into the stock market. So if this is something that interests you, you might want to hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification to be alerted when new videos come out. I post a ton of content that you're definitely not going to want to miss. Speaking of content you don't want to miss, my last video, I actually talked about investing in Dividend Aristocrats and the best resources to look them up. So I'll be covering it a little bit in this video, but you might want to check that one out. You can see my portfolio as well in my Robinhood account and then what I'm doing for my investments. So definitely check that out if you haven't done that already. But like I said, the emphasis and the topic of the video here today is Dividend Aristocrats. And it's important to first get a general knowledge and an understanding what they are. So they have a couple different criteria that I'm going to cover first. So the first of which criteria actually involves being part of the S&P 500. If you don't know what the S&P 500 is, basically it's a stock market index that measures the stock performance of 500 very large companies in the market. So it's basically these really established companies, and to be a Dividend Aristocrat, you actually have to be part of the S&P 500. So that's pretty interesting right there. The next criteria is that you need to have 25 plus consecutive years of increasing dividend payments. So if you ever had to decrease your payment over the span of 25 years, then you would not be considered a Dividend Aristocrat. And on top of those two criteria, you also need to have a certain amount of liquidity to your company. So these are all things to keep in mind. A lot of people refer to these stocks as recession-proof stocks because they're just so gigantic and so built upon that a lot of people think it'd be very hard to collapse, and they wouldn't even collapse due to a recession. So if you're looking for a safer investment, a lot of people say Dividend Aristocrats are the way to go. I personally love Dividend Aristocrats. I have a bunch of different ones in my own individual portfolio. Also important, another thing to note quickly is that the number of Dividend Aristocrats can also vary. So right now in October of 2019, we're towards the tail end of October, we have 57 Dividend Aristocrats currently in the market. So what I'm going to do for you guys right here is actually pull up a website that I talked about in my last video, and that's Dividendcom. And in this website, it does a bunch of different breakdowns of dividend investing. You can have a ton of different categories that you can look into, but my favorite one of all is the Dividend Aristocrats. And this is the list for 2019 October Dividend Aristocrats. Typically, you're going to see the same ones up here, obviously, because if you've been increasing your dividend payment for the past 25 years, you really don't want to stop that, because it's really just great for you to be in this category of investing, and you're really true to paying your investors back and making sure that they are getting some of the profits of your company. Honestly, it's kind of prestigious to be a part of this category, so the people that are already in the Dividend Aristocrat family are not going to want to leave it. So just talking about Dividend.com, let's go into it just a little bit. Basically, it's going to give you a recap right at the top of the website, talking about what the Dividend Aristocrats are. We kind of already covered that at the beginning of this video. You get the table of contents here where it's going to show quick links to where you can link to on the website. And then basically it shows all of the Dividend Aristocrats right here. It includes the name, price, dividend yield, the market cap. It goes into the PE ratio, the payout ratio, and the beta as well. So a lot of information here on this website. It tells you how to use this spreadsheet if you want to be investing from the price to earnings ratio, dividend yield, or market capitalization. It tells you each what they mean, what you need to do in terms of downloading this list, how you should be sorting it, and how you should be investing in these companies if you elect to invest in them, which, you know, I think is a great idea, but hey, it's your choice. I'm not going to force you to invest in some of these solid companies here. You can see their performance through September of 2019 here. They actually had a 3.4% gain, so not bad for the month. It gives you a ton of breakdown into Dividend Aristocrats on this website. So you can see the performance of Dividend Aristocrats by the calendar year versus the S&P 500. So that's a lot of the things I was talking about. You can see since 2010, they've actually been outpacing the S&P 500. And even their competitive rates here, you can see in 1991, they were nearly 10% above, which is just amazing. And then a couple different years, they were doing a little bit worse, a little bit better, so give or take. You can see it all broken down right here. Look at this, 15.1%, they outpaced it. So that was a great year. That was 2008. So had you invested, you know, during the whole crisis of 2008, you invested in Dividend Aristocrats, you would have lost less money on the market. It was still negative that year, don't get me wrong, but you would have lost 15% less had you invested in the S&P 500. So pretty interesting there. These statistics really jump out at me, is another reason why I simply love investing in Dividend Aristocrats. So you get more information as you scroll down the website. You can see the sector overview. So basically it's showing you the weight of the Dividend Aristocrats in the S&P 500. So you can see the most is consumer staples with 22.8%, and then you have industrials at another 22.8%. Next is financials with 12.3%, healthcare, and so on. You can see that materials and consumer discretionary is also very high at 10.5%. So those are the majority of the Dividend Aristocrats there. Breaks it all down, talks a little bit more about it, and it gives you an analysis of a bunch of different Dividend Aristocrats. You can see at the top of it, consumer staples. You can see this Archer Daniels Midland Company. These are just in alphabetical order. I actually invested in Archer Daniels Midland Company. That was my last investment. If you haven't seen my Robinhood challenge, essentially what I've been doing is taking $100 a week, incrementally investing. I think we're up to $2,100 or somewhere around there. So definitely check out those videos if you're interested in watching my investment journey and seeing my portfolio grow. We're just focusing on dividends, and you'll see that a ton of different companies that I have invested in are Dividend Aristocrats. So I'm really taking my own advice here. Johnson & Johnson's one. I know that they get hounded with a bunch of different lawsuits and whatnot. They're still solid. I'm still positive on them in my portfolio. So there's a lot of different great companies. Coca-Cola is another one that I have. And so basically you just get a bunch of different options, and it gives you the breakdown of each one here. So if I were to go into one, then you just click it here. It gives you another full depth inside the company. It's going to give you their price over time. It basically breaks down everything you need to know. This website is great, and I can't talk highly enough about it. I use it all the time to do my research for companies like this. So if you want any more information about Dividend Aristocrats, I would definitely recommend going over to this website and doing a deep dive. You can look up specifics to what you want, and it's just a great resource. So I'm going to be linking this in the description below. So definitely check it out if you are interested. All right, that is all I really have for you guys today. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like. Comment down below, what's your favorite Dividend Aristocrat company, and are you currently invested in any Dividend Aristocrat companies? I'm definitely interested to know. I'm always looking to beef up some of my holdings around the Dividend Aristocrat family. If you feel so inclined, head over to my Instagram page or my Twitter account at DLitzTV and give those a follow as well. Anyways, I hope you all have a great day today. Thanks for watching the video.